Scorpio Ophiuchus, welcome to your June 2016 Sidereal Astrology forecast. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so we got a lot going on this month, more than most months. So I'm going to talk about the most important things happening to give you guys a general idea about the month and to give you some key dates. But if you do want a more specific look, be sure to check out your weeklies where I go into the specifics of what's going on. So starting off the month, we have your ruler Mars retrograde. So you guys are perhaps reflecting on yourself, reflecting on your goals, reflecting on where you're putting your energy in life. And I think this is very deep because your ruler Mars is in your 12th house. So you guys are probably reflecting on your spiritual side, your psyche, where you can have more peace in your life, more acceptance, perhaps getting that alone time, learning more through that alone time, but in an intuitive sort of learning, right? This is the 12th house where it's about feeling, it's about being receptive, and it's about rediscovering your true spiritual self, right? And your connection with God. So these are some good things. They're nothing specific, but I think it's just a good month for you guys to be reflecting and getting that alone time. So within the context of that, there's a lot of powerful things happening specifically to our life path, which I'll talk about. Now, this month, starting the month, we have the Sun and Venus in Taurus, which is your 7th house of relationships. So I think coming into this month, there's a lot of focus on relationships. I think you guys can be gaining a lot of energy through your relationships, whether they're new ones, existing ones. I think you can be enjoying them with Venus. And on the 4th, we have a new moon in that 7th house. So there's now new beginnings for you in terms of interpersonal relationships. So it's a good time to sit with that, to set your intentions with that perhaps, and just kind of think about where you want to see yourself or what you want to cultivate with relationships over the next 6 months, 12 months moving forward. Now, this new moon is going to be conjoining up to Venus, so there's a lot of this, again, new values that I think are coming up to the surface regarding your relationships, like who you value, what kind of qualities you value, these kinds of matters. Now, this new moon is going to be forming a Grand Cross, so there is this challenging side to it. So I think it's important for you guys to be open to challenging yourself with relationships with this new moon. And then through that, obviously, it's through the challenges of life that we evolve and grow, right? Because without challenges, we don't grow. And that's what the squares really do for us. In fact, very successful people in the time periods where we have the greatest change in our life are during these moments when we're really challenged, hopefully challenging ourselves, and we make those changes. And we take the work and we take that grounded approach. Now, on the 7th, we got Mercury going into that 7th house. So I think you guys will start to think more about relationships, perhaps communicating more in relationships this month from the 7th onward. And there may even be some practical things going on in that department. Now, on the 9th, the North Node is going to be trining up to Pluto. So here's where the deep, powerful changes happen with the life path. And this has been this life path unfoldment for you guys recently this year, involving your career, involving your public image, your productive life, your productive self. So it's a great place for you guys to continue to put energy. I think around the 9th, it's a good time for you guys to be making whatever changes are necessary, maybe letting some old things go with the career to make some new things happen or whatever it might be. And that's creating, I think, that transformation there, which I think could be, again, very positive. Now, on the 12th, we have your ruler trining up to Chiron. So you guys are going through a bit of this healing, in fact. And I think for you Ophiuchuses, you guys might be feeling quite motivated around the 12th, which is quite good. Maybe, again, for those spiritual pursuits. But Chiron here in the 12th is that, or excuse me, on the 12th, Chiron is helping you guys heal yourselves. So I think there's a bit of this rejuvenation. You guys may be feeling quite refreshed, and maybe your confidence levels might be quite boosted around the 12th, hopefully again to really pursue what really matters in life, your spiritual timeout and that peace. Now, on the 14th, Neptune goes retrograde, so there is this reflection taking place, and this has been Neptune in your 4th house of home and family. So I think for about the next 6 months, reflecting on your home, your family, and your health can be excellent with Neptune retrograde here. And again, this is so important for you to, again, this particular area, have the faith and trust, to let go, to surrender. And it's through that surrendering, I think you guys are finding actually a lot of peace in either connecting at home or with your personal life with family, maybe with your body, which is that health, right? The 4th house is your emotional state and your roots and your temple in life. So that's the 14th, and on the 17th and 18th, Saturn squares up to that Neptune. So with all the stuff that I think you guys have been taking seriously lately, or maybe assuming more responsibilities lately with Saturn in your 1st house, with your goals and stuff and where you're headed and all this, really have that faith and trust around the 17th, 18th. Very important, because Neptune is showing you, metaphorically speaking, that things are happening in divine timing. And you are, of course, so much more than any label or concept of a thing or whatever, or there's more to what you're focused on about yourself, and there's more to what you're focused on about your goals. We're just not seeing it with this aspect. So, we're not seeing the details of it. So continue to work hard. It's still good for you guys to be, taking those responsibilities and working hard towards your goals, but 17th, 18th, let go, see where things take you, because it's showing you that there's a much larger plan at work. Now, also at this time, Venus is going to go into Gemini, followed by the Sun on the 20th. So there is this shift now going into your 8th house of what really matters to you, what's really deep, what's really meaningful to you in life. You're seeing the truth by the 20th onward with yourself, which is great for that transformation. You got that awareness. You can do healing. You can accept the old parts of the self that maybe you brushed away in the past, which is that 8th house. And that transformation can really occur. In fact, you guys can be gaining a lot of prana by really seeing the truth of who you are, being intimate with yourself, and then naturally that's intimacy with your relationships, etc. So that's the shift, 2nd half of the month, excellent for those deeper things and connecting with the deeper side of life. Now on the 20th, Jupiter does conjoin up to the North Node, so there are new possibilities unfolding, just like there was back in January, but back then Jupiter was retrograde. So I think a lot of these possibilities with your work and your career are going to continue to expand. I think depending on your personal chart, it could be specifically around the 20th that you guys either gain some new insight or there's some new opportunity there, and that's going to help you guys, again, continue to grow with your productive self and anything that you are building towards the future. Now, the 20th is a very important date because we have that conjunction, we got the Sun going into Gemini, and we got a full moon. Okay, and that full moon is going to be right on the cusp between Sagittarius and Ophiuchus. All right, so right there, right on the cusp between your guys' 1st and your 2nd house. So here, there's a culmination of you. Okay, in many ways, there's an awareness of your goals, there's awareness of who you are. You guys are seeing where you can be putting your energy, awareness of your goals, although, again, it's reflective. You can see that, and it could even be, like I said, a culmination if you guys have been working hard towards any of that stuff over the past 6 months. There's also an awareness of what you value in life. The full moon in your 2nd house side of it is going to be that you guys can see what you value. You can be cultivating maybe the material, financial stuff, which is good. You could be being grateful for what you have in life and really seeing how you can be more self-reliant in your life. And for those of you who have been working on the financial material stuff for the past 6 months, can also see a high point with those matters as well. All right, so that's the 20th, very important day. And then on the 26th, we have Jupiter trining up to Pluto. So again, deep, powerful changes, new insights, again, with what's possible with the productive stuff. And I think you're just willing to see it in a new perspective. And it could again be an opportunity or something relating to the career front, again, depending on your personal chart. Now, Chiron goes retrograde on the 27th onward, so especially for you Ophiuchuses, you guys will probably feel maybe even more of this reflection or a reflection in a new way where for both of you, you guys are reflecting on your self-expression. You guys are doing some healing with your self-expression, with your passions, your interests, seeing if there's any wounds and things like that relating to that. And if so, I think you have been doing the healing work, but now going within and really, reflecting on it a little bit, seeing what you can do internally to heal those wounds. Because this isn't that you're not adequate or not good in those areas. It's just that there's some internal wounds that need to be healed involving the things you enjoy in life and your expression. And for you Ophiuchuses, this has been a big area for you guys of cultivating your self-expression. And so now with Chiron retrograde for the next 5 months, just reflecting on that, reflecting on where you've been putting your energy involving those things that are close to your heart. Now on the 29th, we have Mars going direct, okay? So this is taking us into July, where I think if you felt, because this all, again, depends on our personal charts, If you felt like this month was more reflective, there's a lot of rehashing, redoing, rethinking about things, if it's been deep on a spiritual level, this is where things I think can start to move forward in the sense that you guys have a bit more of that motivation, that drive, the forward-moving momentum from perhaps what you've learned about yourself spiritually, or maybe from just kicking back a little bit, getting some of that R&R, right? So I think going into July, there's a lot more of this forward-moving momentum. Mars will then go into your first house again, and I think you guys will feel that burst that maybe you felt a couple months ago in that sense. But this is the time period this month to really do that spiritual work, a transformation, the second half in particular, because it's through these time periods, of course, that we really understand who we truly are on that deep level and what really matters to us most in life. All right, so Scorpio Ophiuchus, I hope you guys have an awesome month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all next time.